Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on the art of leading high-impact global organizations. The topic tonight is virtual assistants. Virtual assistants is the word maybe you're familiar with. That's not the word that we use. It is the global workforce. It is virtual accelerators. Okay. My name is Perry Allison. I am the president of PowerOp Business Systems. My very first company, Premier Fitness, I started that organization at 17 years old back in 2009. I've been owning, operating, running that company ever since. Still own that organization. It's run by tremendous people, most of whom are global players. Almost all of our administrative processes are overseas. And so this is a space I'm an expert in. I've spent a lot of time in this, developing people all around the world, understanding not only how to hire and source people, find talent, but it's about application and it's about cultivation. It's about developing people from different cultures and backgrounds and skill sets and personality types, understanding how different cultures integrate into different parts of the business. And it's still a learning process for me. So this is what I have to share so far, because in 2020, that's the moment my business became disrupted. As many businesses around the world in 2020, things came to a standstill. It was not a good time to be a commercial fitness company in California, especially when they shut down all commercial fitness centers for 18 months. Not a great business model at that point, not something that we could anticipate, prevent, or predict, but we definitely could pivot, and that's what we did. One of those ways was the global workforce. It was kind of by accident. There was a giant calendar syncing project I wanted no part of. So instead of doing the 70-hour plus campaign, we decided to create a ridiculously long standard operating procedure, SOP. 4-hour long SOP, guys. That's a long SOP. And we ended up giving that to a couple just strangers, really, from the Philippines. I don't see him on this call right now, but I'm sure he'll be on a little bit later. Nico, who is still with us to this day. Nico came on and tackled this project. I gave him 2 weeks to do it. He ended up doing it in 3 days, nailing the project better than I could have done it in less time than I anticipated. And guys, this was I think Nico was on at $3 an hour. Okay, prices have gone up since then. Nico has grown tremendously in our organizations from a basic data entry administrative person to now essentially director of operations, and has now supported us in the PowerOp organization. So he's bounced around between different organizations, being a top level asset if there ever was one. And that is what the global workforce has to offer. So my objective at the end of this call, guys, is to remove all mystery around virtual accelerator, global workforce integration, to inspire and show you exactly how to implement high quality personnel, delegation strategies, how to put those in place, and operational processes so that you more than 100x your return on your time within the next 30 days. This is going to unlock a lot of freedom for you in ways that domestic team members can't. And I'm excited to show you that. So let's go ahead and share my screen. You're going to see, I need to do that before I get going here. So now everyone will see my screen, I trust. If not, I'm sure someone will yell at me. But let's first define the word. We got to understand, in order to grasp a concept, we have to understand what it is that we're talking about. So what's a proper definition for a VA? Some say it's a virtual assistant. I say that's a bunch of malarkey, or at least it's half. It's half the right answer. They say it's anyone working remotely that assists in your business. While it is a remote worker, VAs are not merely assistants. They should be properly empowered, just like anybody in the organization, to take full responsibility of significant and valuable portions of your business. So for me, and what I've come to find after seeking assistance from global operators, I have found that they're actually virtual accelerators. Those that are able to come on board, excited to partner with you, excited to join your business, excited to provide value and operate at a level that it's been a long time since American businesses have seen this kind of energy. Willing people with a good attitude, self-respect, and respect for others. These are qualities that I, unfortunately, have been at a little bit of a short supply in America for a long time. But we find this overseas for a variety of reasons. And it's an opportunity for our domestic, for Americans to really truly grasp this and learn from this and grow from this. But this is what we found is that virtual accelerators are globally selected right players, placed in the right position, equipped with quality direction, guided by data-driven outcomes, and strategically aligned to your company's ethos. Doesn't that just sound like a better definition? Isn't that more of an exciting entrepreneurial way to look at an opportunity anyways? Which brings me to my next point. What is the opportunity of VAs? What is the opportunity of the global workforce? Now, we've all heard them called VAs, virtual assistants. What else do we know about this VA phenomenon or interest? Well, we know that most people perceive the only level of value you get from global workforce agents is cheap labor. You know who prioritizes cheap labor? Not so good people, okay? Or at least in most cases, it's small thinking entrepreneurs, business owners that want to grind down numbers to their very, very bare minimum, expenses, crush them and compact them as they completely drench the value out of their business. All the excitement, enthusiasm, opportunity, big think gets squeezed out of their business because they prioritize cheap labor over actual value. And the actual value is more, it's more people focused. It's more big think. You could see there's actually a lot of value, a lot more value than we've ever heard about VAs. Cheap labor, reduce your costs. Is cost reduction a priority and a definite benefit? Yes, absolutely. 70 to 80% administrative payroll expense reduction. That's a good thing. But what I would challenge you to think of is instead of this going to your bottom line to go into the piggy bank, which entrepreneurs are not good, shouldn't be good at saving money, we should be reinvesting that money. So it increases our leverage and allows us to reinvest this capital back into our businesses, back into the sales, the marketing, the expansion, into the payroll of domestic C-suite operators who really desperately need an increase based on all the additional things you want to ask them to do and take off of your plate so that you can scale up and scale out of your business. You see how we're starting to think? We are the dreamers who dream, okay? Willy Wonka, one of the greatest entrepreneurs of all time. Fictitious as he may be, he's taught us a lot of things. We are the dreamers who dream. We're supposed to be in big think, big opportunities. So the other benefits here, reduced office costs, insurance costs, and other staffing costs. Okay, more cost reduction that you may not have thought of the first time. Increased workforce leverage, a lesser dependence on players, and you have a vaster opportunity and a greater workforce pool to pull from for talent. Time saving. Time saving for everybody in your organization, by the way, not just you, not just the business owner, manager, for everyone. Reallocation of resources to the highest ROI activities. What is going to give you the biggest return on your investment? And by the way, you can and should be growing your business while also exiting your business. And that all happens with structure and perspective and the way that we empower people. So stay tuned. If that's something that we're seeing, we're noticing from our businesses, this is what we're here for. Okay, this is what we're really here for. This is good, the good stuff. All right. Reduced employee liability and regulation. If Sally doesn't work in your office and she works in Manila or Egypt or South America and she trips over a stapler, okay, there's no issue. All right. I can't tell you, we just moved out of an office where it was like falling apart. Like literally the ceiling was falling in on you, tripping hazards throughout. It's a bad deal when your office is basically a liability and the people that work there potentially could have an incident and be a problem. So less employee liability, less employee regulation, an enhanced quality of workforce, greater people on your team, greater energy, It just lightens the mood for everyone, and it also refocuses a team into, okay, what are we here to do? What's important? Enlightenment for US personnel. Okay, this is probably, to me, one of the greatest things is we're bringing in perspective for our US workforce. Where US workforce, as a patriot, as someone who loves America, business owner aside, I think the greatest thing that we can provide to the American workforce is perspective. To know that no, not everybody around the world has their needs met or has plenty of food, or like there are people that are actually hungry to earn it, hungry to make it. And we've just lost that spirit in this country. So being able to bring a room together of people all around the world provides just such a beautiful perspective to everybody to understand we're coming together under a desire, single desire to create something, to create a life for ourselves, create financial freedom, to serve our customers, to serve each other, to serve suppliers. We're here to serve and we're here to win together collectively. And so the US workforce, we found it's just been perspective like, man, if they could work all night, start their day at 8 p.m. and end their day at 8 a.m. Myra just told us before you jumped on the call. Myra, what time is it now? If you're around, you got your mic on, just shout it out. Otherwise, I'll move on.
8:11 a.m.
Listen, it's 8:11 a.m. right now. He's been working all day and all night. It's 8:11 right now. This is incredible perspective to offer to your American workforce. Okay. Um, Adding valuable processes that never made financial sense previously. This was a big thing for me because I always used to imagine, man, it'd be really nice if we could do this, and that kind of feature, this type of research, this type of product that we could provide to our customers, but it just never made financial sense. It would always take too much time than the value is worth. But in this case now, with the reduced cost of labor, you have an opportunity to expand into areas that you previously, they were off the table for you. So this is a big one that a lot of entrepreneurs miss and don't recognize. It's all of those wish list services and tasks and responsibilities. It's really, really powerful. Positioning for AI integration. Okay, so whenever I bring up the global workforce, people are like, the global workforce is not the biggest opportunity, it's AI. No, it's not. Global workforce today is capable of delegating and taking on every major responsibility within your business. AI is not yet there. There's probably the software, it's definitely coming, and we all need to pivot during that time. But here's something interesting. If our businesses are not set up to be capable of partnering with people from all around the world, our businesses are not set up for AI integration. It's not some sort of magic switch we're going to flip when the time comes. The AI requires the same level of preparation as global workforce members do. SOP clarity, process clarity, how we do what we do, for who do we do it with, why do we do it for them, what is the value, what is the outcome. We need to have process in place, a way of doing things, data in order to manage expectations and outcomes. Okay, it's going to disrupt the workforce. The AI integration is going to disrupt the workforce. We need to be prepared for that now and disrupt our workforce on a minor level, waking up our domestic team to understand that, hey, things have changed. The things that you're doing are no longer, they no longer make sense to have you do them. They need to be done by somebody else, but there's still an opportunity there. That minor disruption before it's absolutely necessary is a powerful way for your business to acclimate to and adjust to the looming massive disruption that AI is going to provide. So if you have this clarity in this process and way of doing things, you can then load AI with this and AI will work in your business. If you already have this stuff built out, your movement into AI is going to be easier. If you don't have this stuff worked out, you risk competition being able to execute quicker. So that's the bottom line there. To prepare for AI, integrate globally. Evolving your organization to a digital business era business. Okay, we're going virtual. We're going to have headsets. So you might as well be working with people all around the world because it's not going to matter if Nancy's 6 feet away. You can be wearing a headset. You can be off in space. Office spaces in space. Sounds like a movie. I'm making it. Office spaces in space. Virtual reality. Okay, positively impacting humans worldwide. I don't just love Americans. Okay, I'm a Christian. I'm a man of God, so I love all people. So to love people worldwide and those who are actually hungry for opportunity, giving opportunities to those who want it, that's a win-win. I want to impact people, all people positively, especially if you want it and you're eager for an opportunity. That's just, it's a no-brainer for me. So I love providing impact for humans globally. If that's something that interests you, that's been an incredible benefit. Increasing the business speed of business iteration, the ability to pivot and move quickly with people that are all around the world and capable of picking up and putting down projects and cross-training in your business. It makes your business faster. Speed is the drug of choice within business. So this absolutely increases speed. Reduces your tax liability. Not only does it eliminate your payroll tax, okay, it also shows up as an expense line item still, just like all of your other business expenses. It eliminates administrative office spaces. No need for administrative office spaces anymore. Efficient use and support of your domestic team. This is a massive one. I alluded to this earlier. Having all of the basic administrative processes delegated, all the stuff that your current US team doesn't have to do, getting that completely off of their plate. Why? Because this US team, I assume you have a relationship with, you like, you care about, they're engaged, you've been in some battles with, you've fought some wars with. They should be like that, because if you're insisting on hanging on to anybody that's not like that, it's probably not someone you should justify keeping and not outsourcing and delegating their responsibilities. But it should be people that are in the fight with you. And if you feel that, that's great. We need to remove everything off of their plate that they don't have to do, so that based on their commitment, their understanding of your business, the fact that they're physically here, they should be increasing their output into more valuable physical or intellectual roles. That's the key. That's the juice. That's what business owners, they've lost the idea of expansion. It's not a zero-sum game. We're not trying to get to zero as quickly as possible. Cut all the expenses, release all my people, and then just run the lowest cost operators. No, 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 no. Maybe you're increasing the payroll of your domestic team. Maybe they're going to take on more responsibilities and support you at a greater level. It's a win-win. It drives more revenue into your business. You reshifted the culture of your business. This is how we win. And this, I think, would be more obvious to business owners, but we all kind of need to have that coach, like that big think re-tapped in. Oh yeah, Jane has been with me for 10 years. Why is she doing data entry? Why is she writing checks? Why is she paying vendors? Why is she doing status update calls? Jane, you need to be on the phone, like getting us some business, working out a campaign, a marketing campaign. Okay. Like thinking with me at the highest level, what is it that this business has needed for the past 10 years that you've been here? We haven't done yet because we haven't had the capacity. Now's our leverage point. This is our capacity moment. I'm fired up if you're not fired up. iPhone, the one and only iPhone is here with us. Steve Jobs first. Okay. I'm a little bit starstruck. Sorry, I'm being a nerd. It's okay. Nobody's here anyways. It's all good. What up, Regine? Hey, hey. All right. Greater owner leverage and control. Okay. With great power comes great responsibility. So careful with that. It says greater business owner happiness. It's the entire team. It's the entire team. You actually lift the entire organization, the culture of the entire organization. Okay. Remote capabilities, absolute number one priority is great quality standard operating procedures, or SOPs. Okay. If an SOP can be created, the process must be delegated to the highest quality and most cost-efficient operator. So if it can be recorded, the process can be recorded, you must record it. And if it's recorded, it can be delegated. Somebody else needs to be doing that. Not your key players in your office, not the domestic person, not you globally. Okay. All right. Here are just, when that happens and when that's possible, here are just some of the departments global operators can come in and integrate with you on. Customer service, okay, IT, research and development. Listen, each of these are departments. Within each of these departments, is a slew of responsibilities, and all of those responsibilities can be outsourced. How do we know this? The commercial fitness company, I didn't mention this before, 95% of all administrative processes have been outsourced. Okay. The only players domestically that remain are our field service team members, of course, and our C-suite management, our C-suite executives. So look, this is the proper use and context for your domestic team, but you could also maintain, we have marketing as well. Yeah, marketing team members, sales team members here, like door to door, on site, in your face personnel. But these are people doing physical activities, running booths and trade shows, and being physically with our clients and seeing our opportunities. Okay, in each of these departments, so we've done this. We've replaced every single one of these departments, every role and responsibility within these departments. We've replaced. We've have added active active participation in doing all this. So we've seen the good, the bad, the hard, the struggle, but with SOPs, it has to be done. Once you have SOPs, you must have data to track those processes, the outcomes of those processes. Okay, so between good quality process definement, because if you can't explain something to a 6-year-old, you don't understand it yourself. Einstein, that is your SOP credo. It's got to be so simple, a 6-year-old could do it. You should be able to take low quality operators, give them a high quality SOP, and they should be able to produce an outcome somewhere in the ballpark of 70 to 80%. Then it's like you're not looking for a unicorn type talented person. You're looking for a good character person. You're looking for someone that you want to look at their face every day and you actually like them. You think they're a good person. We only surround ourselves with people that we want to work with, great character, great attitudes, because our SOPs are so good. There's no guessing. There's no remembering. It's like, oh, we like Nick because he remembers what he needs to do. You don't need to remember. You have SOPs, baby. What you need to remember to do is smile at me and like have a good attitude. And like you do those things naturally. That's why I love you. So you are here, you are family. So listen, SOPs data, there's no guessing. There's no guessing on how the outcome turned out. You got a 7. We only require 5. Give me 5, high five, because you exceeded your target. It's easy. And when people fall below target, man, you hit a 3 when you should have had a 5. How are you doing? Are you going through something I can support you with right now? Maybe they're going through something. We're able to lead in a more human way. And humanity is really important when we bring a globe together, because there's a lot of things culturally you're just going to have to learn and we have to acclimate to, but it's so interesting and it's so fun, especially when you're this type of leader where you're really aiming to provide clarity and confidence to people and also develop them. And so this is the opportunity, a little bonus section here. Beyond all of the primary departments of a normal organization, the global workforce within property management is massive. So some of us have property management experience. Maybe we're real estate agents. Maybe we have friends who are real estate agents, property managers, owners of investment properties. This is for you. This is incredible. Some of us, work within management companies. This is just, it's incredible. Global workforce and property management is just a no-brainer, and property management still has no idea. By the way, everything we're talking about here, 95% of businesses have no idea about any of this. Maybe they've heard of virtual assistants, maybe they've thought about trying it, but nobody really understands and has yet to integrate at scale the opportunity that is the global workforce. It's incredible. So good job for being here. Thank you for being here. That's really incredible. But again, I want you to get 100x of your time back. So I take this very seriously and I love this space so much. Let's talk about common challenges and objections, the excuses that we make. Speaking of that, hey, it's cheap operators, I get it, but I tried it once and it didn't work. Yeah. Well, that's what I hear sometimes. Oh, I tried a VA, didn't work out, whatever, and I just gave up on it. It's like, okay, well, I've tried a diet once. I tried going for a run one time, and it didn't work for me either. That one time I tried, it didn't work. Listen, hiring great talent and people, still working with people, it takes work. It takes practice. It takes figuring out. It takes working in a new way. This is business in a new way, but it is business of the future. This is the way that we're moving into and have already moved into and will always continue to go. So it's worth the investment of the time to figure out how do we work with people from different countries? How do we coordinate and collaborate in real time in a real way digitally? It's worth the investment of time. Don't try it once, commit to it. We got to commit to it, and it will work. If we can create good SOPs, we can make this work. Cyber and client security. This is understandable. Absolutely makes sense to me. Listen, there's a few ways to go about this, but ultimately what it comes down to is if I trust Nancy, who's 6 feet away, because she's worked with me for a long time and I know who she is and I can trust her. I can trust Myro 6,000 miles away, who I've also worked with for a while, and I can also give him valuable resources. So you trust people and you give access in proportion to what is warranted based on the relationship. So it's just, it's just, can I trust you? Have you proven yourself trustworthy? You obviously make sure that you protect your most valuable assets, any kind of proprietary information, obviously be sensitive about it. You know, do your due diligence, set up some layers so that people don't just have access to the entire castle. It's just due diligence and it's discretion. It's common sense business, but it's applied a little differently. So with any sort of questions, we'd love to support and help kind of figure those things out, because there's some ways you can go about it. Breaking off responsibilities between a couple different people. It's all very possible. Let's talk about another one, language barrier. Okay. Again, going back to Einstein, if you can explain it to a 6-year-old, then you understand it. Look, the global workforce absolutely has the comprehension of a 6-year-old, far beyond actually probably what most of our domestic team has. Okay. If not superior. Okay. Let alone their tenacity to look things up and, be able, I use phraseology sometimes that are just not even just American slang. Sometimes I'll use really deep root stuff like 1990s Southern California, hip hop or punk rock kind of themes. And nobody on earth in Dallas would know what I'm talking about. So anytime that happens, they just say, hey, what the heck are you talking about? And then, I explain unnecessarily. Probably shouldn't even use that phrase in the first place, but, just went for it. But if there's any misunderstanding, they have the responsibility, the integrity to look things up, to ask you to get that clarity, and just explain that up front. Hey, if there's something that you don't understand, I'm here to make it simple. Okay. The other objection that's kind of related to that is accent. Okay, this one here is actually a trigger to something else. So whenever the American consumer calls a customer or calls a company and they get an accent, it's not because people are inherently racist or have a problem with people with accents. What it is, it's the trigger. It's a trigger that this person cannot help me. This is not a person who works for the company locally, and therefore they're not trained to actually solve my problem. Now, the world has changed. Since 2020, the world has changed. Everything's digital. We order on Amazon. It's right down the street. We don't go pick it up, but it comes to us. So the modern American consumer, has changed their perspective on this. Accents aren't a default issue for us as much anymore. It's still there. But the way we combat this is B, we actually empower our team. We give them the knowledge, the understanding of how our businesses work, and we train them properly to serve the needs of our clients, our vendors, and our other team members. So that's a simple one to overcome. Accent's not the problem. It's what it implies, which is no longer true, especially of your business when you incorporate correctly. Okay, it takes too long to train or onboard. Okay. With proper SOPs, this eliminates physical time spent with new hires. We shouldn't be spending any physical time, whether this person is with us here or they're 6,000 miles away. Your time, your team's top level time, have no business, no reason to be actually dedicating and investing into somebody who you just hired. We don't know these people. They could be good at interviews, and we're going to spend hours of our time training them and just hoping that they're the right person. I used to do this. I'm talking to myself. I'm making fun of myself. Most of the stuff I do, sit there for like 4 to 8 hours. Okay, go take your lunch. I'll be with you for the rest of the day. A president of the company, you're sitting with somebody, some knucklehead off the street you don't even know. After a week, they're going to get caught smoking weed in the bathroom. And you just spent like a full day? Guys, come on. It sounds silly. I did it. I know that other business owners do it. We waste our time. So this is wonderful. Domestic or international, we have SOPs that automate the onboarding process and deliver the training exactly how it should sound. So it's repeatable, it's done right every time. Okay, not able to provide remote access to company assets. Okay, welcome to 2024. It's this thing called the cloud. If you have this issue, we're going to upload all of our stuff to the cloud. It's going to be amazing. We'll help you with that. But no, in seriousness, I had a server in 2020. I was like, I've got all of our assets here physically on the ground. So we had to move it up to the cloud. And that's super important. So all joking aside, I'm the guy who did the silly stuff before. I'm not sure if they're actually working while I'm paying them. How do you monitor them? How do you watch them? How do you make sure they're actually working the time that you're paying them? Okay, quality KPIs, key performance indicators, data will narrow your scope to the value that your team is providing rather than the time that they're spending on tasks. This is where I really like to live because this really empowers our team. All that to say is if a team member of mine was able to produce the same amount of result within 2 hours of their day, and they were able to just log off for the remaining 6, and they just exceeded targets, and them being out for 6 hours didn't negatively impact my business, I wouldn't have a problem with that. I would have a problem that they're wasting the other 6 hours and not reinvesting that time to do more and to triple their output. That's a different conversation. I would still be disappointed for that reason. But look we're not focused on holding people captive for a certain amount of time. We're looking to produce a certain outcome. It's the outcome we're looking for. So I would have a problem, not because that person went home after 2 hours. I would have a problem that they wasted 3 times 300% of their potential. I'd be really disappointed. If they were a team member of mine, it's like, you're my family. I'm not going to let you waste 300% of your potential. Stop it. Make that money. Make 3 times more money. Do that 3 times over again. Okay? This is great. I love this stuff. That's how you lead. We don't need to look at their screens and you spend time and like, what's this site? What does that do? And then they're like, it's part of the business. You don't even know. And it's like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, dude, don't put yourself in that position. You don't know everything in your business. Look for outcomes. Really focus on the data. Focus on the outcomes. Plus, you want your team to start looking at themselves as delivering value and not delivering time. Time is completely worthless to you as a business owner. You want your people delivering you value, outcomes, results. Get them to think in terms of results, and everything else takes care of itself. Your business makes more money. They make more money. There's no negotiation of like, oh, they're going to ask me for a 10% raise. Dude, they're creating results. They're getting you results. We all get results. It's all good. Teaching our team to understand and think this way, the next powerful step, okay, creating that powerful culture is really, really imperative. So I don't want to replace my current team or concern them. Guys, we've already explained this. The world has already changed. It's already moved on from you doing these responsibilities. But the good news is that it just blessed you by calling you higher. The world believes in you more than you do. It's time for you to rise up to additional levels of greatness and opportunity with me leading you. This is the way that we refocus our team's attention up rather than focusing on, I just lost something. No, you didn't. You just gained something. You just gained an opportunity to grow. You just lost the stuff that was keeping you busy and distracted. So listen, this is so good, guys. Again, this is a passion of mine. It's a passion of my team. Team Power Up. We're all about business systems. If you have not heard, it's the foundation that's layered underneath global team, domestic team, artificial teams, You need this foundation. That's what we do. We build out the foundation of your business to make all this work. We show you how to do it. Business leadership and best practices. Okay. This is the space that we provide. Processes, SOPs, KPIs, dashboards, project management, personal, professional, financial goals, cultural leadership. This is the stuff that is really going to bring your team together, your global team, your international team. And if you're looking to go deeper with the global workforce, guys, we do offer some support, additional support. Don't want to take all this time, your entire evening. I'm grateful again for you jumping on with us. If you're interested in more information about how to integrate the specifics of integrating the global workforce, we provide an exhaustive breakdown of, breaking it to your team, having that conversation that I last described, handling your limited BS, your belief systems, okay? Onboarding, the management and development of our team, long-term, how do we maintain that culture and that accountability for our team? Operational softwares, cultural considerations, how do we mesh multiple cultures across big spectrums? Security, how do we keep our databases, clients secure? Then we move on strategically. This is all about a process. You move strategically into sourcing and interviewing team members, payment. How do we pay them? What do we do with impact players? How do we identify them? How do we assign them to grow? And how do we see their development long term? How do we accelerate from there? How do we actually scale our business once we have this framework of a great culture and people that are ready to get it? How do we scale from there? How do we grow? And then some universal truths, things that we've found to be true over a long period of time doing this. And again, a long period of pleasure, guys. And I want to just say, speaking of long periods of pleasure, this has been 37 minutes of pleasure for me talking about the thing I care about, one of the most on earth, my global team, my global family. This is a space I would love to support you in. If you have questions following this, I will nerd out. I want you to be successful. I want to share this juice with everybody who has had my experience being a frustrated business owner, surrounded by people I can't motivate and who don't seem to care. This is the answer here, and it's been so tremendous for me. It's made me a better person. And I see so many of our team members on here. Quest, Ashley, we've got my CEO from Premier Fitness on the call right now. I've got my Vice President, Quest Gatlin, on the phone right now. If you guys are able to turn on your cameras, that's cool. We can see. If not, it's the evening and they're still partying with us. We have Isla. We got a lot of team members here, so it just shows you the support. And any team members that are able to jump on, feel free to throw on your camera. This is what it is. We invite our team, our global team, to come in and say, hey, take in some of our DNA real quick. Like, come and be a part of this family. This is what we believe. We stand behind this. We love this team. We love the international play. This is our long-term play. This is our family. We're growing every single day. We have approximately 45 team members internationally through Premier Fitness. We have even more through PowerOp. So it's a passion. We'd love to serve you. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. PowerOp team members, Premier Fitness team members, you guys are the best. I love you. Let's get after it tomorrow morning. You know we're coming for it. Let's go get it. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night.